Hello, welcome back. So it's a very exciting day for me. It is the return of Mythic battles, this time with Ragnarok. So anyone who knows the channel, you might know that I'm a huge fan of Mythic Battles Pantheon. It's my favourite skirmish game of all time. And I'm hoping for much the same from Ragnarok. That doesn't mean to say that in my review it's going to get an easy run or anything like that. It will be fully put through its paces. But for me personally, I play a lot of Mythic Battles Pantheon. No one has ever said to me, do you fancy a game of Mythic Battles Pantheon? And I've said no. It's a, for me, it's absolutely fantastic. So it's really cool to be getting more stuff. So with Mythic Battles Pantheon, we had a core box and what was called Pandora's box, which was all the stretch goals and that kind of thing. It's not been done that way with Ragnarok. We get one box with all of the miniatures, and then we get a storage box which is already kind of pre-packed with a lot of stuff anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to bust these open. We're going to have a look. So we're going to first of all cover the storage box. We will then go to the main box, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to kind of split it into two sections. I'm going to do a great big overview. These are the miniatures, this is how it looks. And then I'm going to come back and go through each miniature in depth. And we're going to talk about the lore or the mythology of each individual character or unit within the game. So this is going to be quite a long video. I did a test run with Pantheon, and that clocks in at about an hour and a half. I'm pretty certain it won't be like that for this one, but I'm looking forward to it. So let's get cracking. So like I say, we'll start with the storage box. Let's see what we've got. Okay. So we have two boards. So I'll tell you what, we'll open them and have a quick look. I don't know the names of these boards right now, to be honest with you. But there's some kind of ruined village. Pretty on point for Norse mythology. And there you go, we have a real kind of fire and ice set up here. Very cool. Nice artwork as usual. Don't know if this is Carl art, but and I really like his stuff, but very good. Okay, so let's actually use these boards as the kind of backdrop. That's what we're looking at. Okay, so that was the first one. Let's get this box out of the way for a second. Okay, what is that? Viking longship. Very dark and gloomy, this one. But of course, very cool indeed. And then on the other side, a bit more brightness. Raised areas. Very nice. So far, so good. Obviously, we don't know anything about the boards really until we start playing. So we'll obviously come back to that in the review. Right. So let's have a look at these dividers first. So we've got 3 decks of cards. I'll crack those open in a minute. Dividers, let's look at these first. Okay, so dividers, we have activation cards for the Titans, for the gods, for the monsters, and the heroes. and the troops. We have rune cards. We have Art of War cards, for which the art has changed. Jarls, pole marks, recruitment cards, troop cards again. Oh yeah. Futhark cards. During your return, you can carry out a draw cards maneuver without discarding an Art of War card. This bonus effect does not count as your maneuver for the round. Right, interesting. And then a couple of blanks to do your own thing with. Okay, so that's all good. It's worth noting actually that currently with this storage box you can only fit 2 boards in there. So if you've got the Asgard expansion currently, that won't go in this board. I might have a look at this later on, see if I can modify the insert a little bit, try and generate a bit more space. Perhaps I'll look at that in a minute actually. We have stack clips. So they are all the standard brown ones. Let's see if they have changed in any way. They have not. So they are exactly the same as they were previously. They do have in here the kind of the rubber stack clip backs as well. I personally don't use them. I find that the stack clips, if you leave the cards, sorry, if you leave these on their own and don't nudge them, they're not going to move. And I find that when you put the stack clip backs on them, it overdoes what you want it to do. It makes things difficult to maneuver anyway. Let's have a look at some runes. So these replace the Divine Stones from Pantheon, are the counterpart to those. They're lovely actually. So the counterpart to the Omphalos. Yeah, these are really nice. You should get 15, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes. So those are awesome. Very, very cool. In fact, let's get things tipped out into here. We have some trees. And some kind of look like some sort of ruins with runes on them. Okay, so all of these trees are identical, so I'll just show you one of them. Yeah, they're pretty nice. Certainly nice enough. So we've got those. And then lots of these very cool kind of ruined stones. Those are all identical as well. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 stones and 10 trees. Okay, those are cool. Let's take a look at tokens. They're wedged in there, good. They're very wedged in here, but there is extra space, to be fair. There's 2 openings to put tokens in. Right, so we've got some apple tokens. That's for one of the gods, I know that. Yeah, basically these are all going to be kind of unit specific. I have to say they are very wedged in there, so make sure when you put them in, when you're organising it yourself, make sure you leave plenty of space. Right, so a lot of these actually aren't unit specific. They look... I'll certainly find out more about these before I go through the proper review, but some of these will be for scenarios and that kind of thing. They're nice. They feel a lot bigger than the tokens from Mythic Battles Pantheon. Let's actually test that. I've got my Mythic Battles Pantheon tokens here, and they are, yeah, they're much bigger. Huge amount bigger than the Pantheon tokens. Okay, but yes, I can confirm they are very nice. Put my dice in there. What's next? So the dashboards are the dashboards. What we've got, right? Okay, so we've got gods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13 gods in the core box. Let's get through this. Heroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 heroes. And monsters. What's going on here? Oh, cool. Yes. So monsters, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 18 monsters. Included in with the monsters, we have a dashboard for Fenrir as a Titan. Which is awesome, honestly. We knew we were going to get that. Please do the same thing for Prometheus from Mythic Battles Pantheon. If you can hear me, anyone from Monolith? Yes, so Fenrir is available as a monster and as a Titan, or a Titan-sized unit, as it would be known. But there are no Titans in Greek mythology. But yeah, very, very awesome. And so let's actually, if I put the monsters there, the gods there, that leaves enough room for everything. I would say, yeah, so the insert's been modified slightly so as the Titan sized dashboards fit in flush with the rest of them, which is pretty cool. That means that you can, I'm assuming, so you can just get your boards in there properly. So very nice. So that's everything in the storage box except for cards. And with the cards, it is going to be, let's start at number 1. You know, it's going to be same sort of fare as Mythic Battles Pantheon. So let's run through it. So deck number 1, this gives us, let's start with the activation cards. Sorry, these are the all the cards for the drafting, I believe, but they look very different from the Pantheon cards, to be honest. So we've got some troop cards here as well. So these look like these cards go with Hervor. This troop gains +2 attack dice when retaliating. Ah, yes. These are the Jarls, I believe. Jarl cards. Very cool. Whole bunch of codes. I am going to have to come back. All right, here we go. Polemark cards. Oh, come on. Daedalus. Get in there. Polemark cards. Polemarks a feature added to Mythic Battles Pantheon. They work exactly like Jarls. So yeah, those are all the Jarl cards. Right. Deviate for a second from Ragnarok. Let's look through. So Daedalus, he was the father of Icarus. Very, very awesome. Otrera. Not heard of her. This troop gains the guard talent. Ariadne. This troop ignores the talent effects of block and mighty throw. Patroclus. So he was the nephew of Achilles. This troop inflicts an additional wound if it wounds a hero or a monster. Cassandra. Once per turn, this troop can use one simple action to draw a card. Helen of Troy. A non-divinity unit that attacks this troop suffers -2 attack dice, it looks like. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. And so it appears that these Jarl cards are the Ragnarok equivalent of those. Right, we've got a bunch of Art of War cards. I like the new artwork. It's very nice indeed. And then some rune cards. So these are the equivalent to the Omphalos cards. Oh, another one of those mixed in there. Very cool. I have to say I'm loving it so far. Okay, so we have got what have we got? What am I talking about? We got our Polemark cards, our Jarl cards. We got all of our different cards for our troops. Some more Jarl cards, it looks like. We have got all of our cards for drafting. A whole bunch of them. We've got our Art of War cards, and we've got our rune cards. So everything is looking great so far. So let's take a look at deck number 2. Okay, so we've got English and French cards here as well. And these are activation cards. So Titan Fenrir to start with, and here obviously is the Mythic Battles Ragnarok card art, which won't matter for me because everything's going to be sleeved, but it's very nice indeed. Okay, maybe I'll torture myself a bit and go through all the names for this, which I won't be pronouncing correctly, I'm sure. So we've got Balder, 4 activations. Gullinbursti, 3 activations. Frigg, 4 activations. These are nice, these cards. Hel with 4 activations. Idun with 4. Almost every single pronunciation I give here is a guess. Obviously Thor and Odin and all that sort of stuff I know, but these ones not particularly. Freyr, I'm assuming. Loki. Hiram, I assume. Does that sound right to you? Hiram. Skadi. Sif. Thor, her husband. Tyr. Vidar, or Vidar. Vidar, I think. Beowulf. Oh, let's have a think. Bodvar Bjarki. Bodvar Bjarki, maybe. Egil or Egil. Gulveig. She's pretty grim. Harold Hardrada. There we go. Hrolf Kraki. Lagertha. Freya. Sigmund. Sigurd. Skuld or Skuld. 5 activations, cool. The Draugr. The Huskarls. Angerboda or Boda. I'm looking forward to getting my hands, well, having a look at that miniature because it looks really cool. Fafnir. Right, Jomsvikings maybe. That's Fenrir as the monster, not the Titan. Garm, maybe Yarm. Garm, yeah, that is kind of like reading about that unit. It's basically the three-headed dog that looks after the underworld in Greek mythology. Yeah, Garm or Yarm looks after, guards the underworld. Grendel. Oh, blimey, I'm never going to get this right. Rasvelg, maybe? Rasvelg. Very cool. Hirokin. Ratatosk. Right, here we go. Tanginjoster and Tangrisnir. So those are the rams, are they, that pull Thor's chariot? Troll. There you go, that was easy. Utgardaloki. Mimir. Lives in the tree, I believe. Jofur. Is that the last one? No, one more. And Ulfin. Oh, hang on a second. Ulfednar. Very, very cool. And then there's one more deck. Sorry, there's actually 2 more decks, but I'm assuming they're the same card. So all of those cards that I've just been through are, I believe they're probably the same in French as they are in English. And now we've just got 2 decks left, but they are deck number 3. So I can just discard the French one. And so these should all be the English language versions. If I can ever get into it. Right, okay, what do we have here? Right, okay, so more activation cards. So is it Jord or Njord? 4 activations. Brunhild. Freya's Cats, Veteran Lagertha, the Norns, Grendel's Mother, the Frost Jotun or Jotun, Frost Giants, Berserkers, the Dwarves, the Light Elves, Oathbreakers, Shield Maidens, Varangian Guards, Seers. Right, what are these? Fair. What are these? During your turn, you can carry out a draw cards maneuver without discarding an Art of War card. This bonus effect does not count as your maneuver for the round. During your turn, you can carry out a search for a card maneuver without discarding an Art of War card. This bonus effect does not count as your maneuver for the round. Thurs. During your turn, choose one of your units on the board. This unit gains the block talent. These are cool. Os. Gain the guard talent. Reed. The Berserk talent, which I don't actually know what it is. But I will soon. A Kaon. During your turn, choose one of your units on the board. This unit will have its offense increased by 1 until the end of the round with a maximum value of 10. Hagal. Defense increased by 1 till the end of the round. Nard. Increased range by 1. Is. Movement increased by 1. Ar. Vitality will regain 1 previously lost vitality. Sol. At the end of your turn, you can carry out your troop recall without discarding an Art of War card. Tyr. Reduce your Art of War cost of one of your Divinity's powers by 1. Bjarkan. During your turn, choose an allied troop unit on the board. This unit can move for free into an adjacent area. These are cool. Don't know how to get them into the game yet. This unit gains the climb talent until the end of the round. Climb talent. I thought they'd done away with climb. Interesting. Lorger. Discard an activation or Art of War card. During your turn, choose an opponent. They must, if possible, discard an activation or Art of War card of my choosing from their hand. And yeah. During your turn, choose an allied unit on the board. Till the end of the round, this unit can re-roll or have an opponent re-roll a die in combat it is involved in. All right, that's all very interesting, to be fair. Very much looking forward to getting into what's up with that. That's very cool. So that's all the cards we've been through now. We've been through everything in the storage box. So let's see how we could do this. So we want to keep the rune cards and the Art of War cards together. So rune cards, have them there. Art of War will have in the same location. Titans. So currently we only have one set of Titan cards. That's for Titan Fenrir. Right, pole marks. This will obviously get put away into the Pantheon storage solution. Now, I don't have the storage box for Mythic Battles Pantheon. I might go into that on another video actually. Right, here are our Jarls. Put those with the pole marks for now. Okay, recruitment cards. Let's put those in here. And that leaves us with our, oh, hang on a second, our Futhark cards, which are these ones. I'll keep these for now. I'll whack them in with the pole marks and the Jarls. And then basically the rest are troop, gods, monsters and heroes. Oh, for now, until I've sorted all the cards out, I'll keep them in this section over here. Now, in terms of activation cards, I believe they will all fit in this area here unless they are sleeved. So we've got the blank ones there as well. Just keep them separate. In fact, put the Titans in there as well. I think that once they're sleeved, they'll all go in there. Sorry, if they're unsleeved, they'll go in there. If not, they'll go elsewhere. In terms of space for gods, monsters and heroes, there's a vast amount of extra space in those to fit everything else that comes with Ragnarok. And there's just an abundance of space for other things. There are other tokens and that kind of stuff that come in other boxes. Maybe not tokens, but things like Ymir has his kind of frost tokens that are kind of, they're done as a tiny kind of miniature that goes with it. I know that Surt has the same. Yeah, so there's plenty of space to put all that kind of stuff. Plenty of space for extra dice as well. Put the dice in here for now. I have a lot of dice, so I'll probably transfer them to maybe this area. I will, of course, be picking up... I run lots of tournaments and that for Mythic Battle, so I'll be picking up a whole load more of these runes. There's plenty of space in there. Loads more trees and these things. Those will all be going in there. But yeah, I'm happy with this storage solution. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, no, it's good. It is good. I was wondering if there was going to be any space around the edges that I could have trimmed off in order to get the third board in here, but there isn't enough space, so that's a no-go. But yes, storage box I'm happy with, to be fair. That's the only minor niggle really for me, is that it would have been great to get that Asgard board in there as well. But you can't, so there you go. What you could potentially do actually, depending on how you are going to store your miniatures and that kind of thing. So for Mythic Battles Pantheon, I don't store any of my miniatures in these boxes anymore. I've got various boxes, kind of plastic tubs and that kind of thing, that things that you use for storage, household storage and that kind of stuff. I keep it all in there. So what you could do is effectively, if you're going to do that for this, the actual Ragnarok box itself is much deeper than the storage box. So you could potentially transfer the insert into this and use this instead. Because I like to get access to all of my miniatures at the same time, so I don't keep them in their individual boxes. I just keep them in storage tubs anyway. Right, let's take a real good look at all of the miniatures. Oh, blimey, look, rule books. Got a French rule book there, French scenario book, and the French player aids, and then of course all of the English versions of those as well. So we've got in this box as well, I can get them out, we've got 2 boxes for all our stuff. Rule book. So player aids look great as usual. No major change there in terms of from the Pantheon predecessor. Let's have a look at the talents and see what's new. So Berserk is new. This unit can use its 2 simple turn actions to perform 2 normal attack actions at a range of 0. Unmodifiable by any power or talent. At the end of the second attack action, this unit suffers 1 auto wound. So you get to attack twice, but you take an auto wound. Block, we've got bolster. I'm skipping through the ones that we had from Mythic Battles Pantheon. Close combat is fine. Protection, force of nature is the gem collector guard. Scout. Right, so did they have scout in Pantheon? This unit can deploy for free during the table setup step as if it were a troop. That's cool. Slayer. So they've kind of changed up there was Hero Slayer and Monster Slayer from Mythic Battles Pantheon. Have kind of made that a catch-all. Slayer is always linked to a unit type such as Monster Slayer, etc. During the first assault, before discarding blank results, the unit may re-roll 2 dice against the target of this unit type corresponding to its Slayer talent. So very cool. In terms of terrains, all of the boundaries are the same. Terrains: building, burning, cliff, divine source, movement allowed. Okay, that has its own rules. Polar was teased in the email expansion, obviously fleshed out here. But yeah, very cool. Rulebook wise, so I've only seen the Kickstarter version that was on there. 37 pages. It's got an index, thank goodness. All right, it's got some skirmish setup here. I'm doing the rule book back to front. It's nice to see some skirmish stuff in here, I have to say. Yeah, very cool. So I'm not going to get into the rule book really right now, but our setting, introduction, yeah, this looks pretty similar to Mythic Battles Pantheon, at least the 1.5 rulebook, which is a massive improvement on its predecessor. So yeah, this all looks pretty nicely laid out. I'm going to do a separate video which basically encounters all of the differences between Mythic Battles Pantheon and Mythic Battles Ragnarok, so I'll cover all that separately there. Okay, and then the scenario book. So what have we got? 2 campaigns and a single scenario. 7 scenarios in total. 2 campaigns have 3 scenarios each. The Eternal Conflict. Odin let fly his spear. Soaring towards the people, so began the world's first war. The Aesir kingdom's barrier broken, the battlefield taken by the victorious Vanir. Okay, and again, we've seen all this sort of stuff before, but it looks very nice. Different kind of setups here. There's some of the tokens we were talking about earlier. I was wondering if they would find their way into scenarios, and they have, so that's good. So at least we understand that. But yeah, scenario book, very, very cool. Right, let's take a look at some miniatures. So let's get zoomed in so we can have a really, really good look at what we've got. Oh, I can hear something. What's that? So I can hear a very tiny piece of plastic. I'll find out where that's from. Oh, it's gone forever now, I'm sure. I'll find where that's from. It doesn't look, it looks like a decent size, so it's probably fine to glue back on. Right, right, okay. So, yes. We have a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I have to say, these look fantastic. These really look superb. Very nice. So I play Pantheon all the time. First impressions are that these are a lot better. And I've always considered that Pantheon still holds up now. I'm really happy with these. Very, very cool. Right, let's right, I'm about to introduce for myself a real editing nightmare. But what I'm going to attempt to do is go through each individual model separately and give you a small amount of lore on it. And let's see how that goes. So in fact, I'm going to let's get all the miniatures out from the other box as well, and then we can run through everything in one big go. Forget how daunting these big Kickstarters are. Absolutely packed full of stuff. Wow. That's something else, that is. Let's have a look at Fenrir, actually. So he's big. So yeah, it's not surprising he's got a Titan option as well. Is this Needhog? Thor. These are epic, these are, to be honest with you. Really, really very cool. Grimbursty. Amazing. Right, okay. Let's try and sort this out. So let's start with Idun or Idun. Very, very cool indeed. Okay, so Idun or Idun, a Norse goddess, safeguards magical apples, granting her immortality. Idun, a Norse goddess, safeguards magical apples, granting immortality to gods. In a pivotal myth, trickster Loki's prank leads her to capture a giant. Her absence causes the gods to age, and Loki rescues her, restoring vitality to the gods. Idun symbolises youth and the clinical nature of life in Norse mythology. Cool. Okay, so here's Sif. Sif, Norse goddess known for her golden hair, symbolising fields of wheat. Married to Thor, the god of thunder, she personifies fertility and abundance. In mythology, Loki plays a prank on her by cutting off her hair, but the dwarven blacksmiths craft her a new set, highlighting her connection to agriculture and renewal. And she's awesome. Really, really cool model. Right, next up is Balder. A beloved Norse god of light and beauty, is the son of Odin and Frigg. Revered for his purity, he faces tragedy when Loki deceives the blind god Hodor into unwittingly causing Balder's death with mistletoe. His demise marks a pivotal event in Norse mythology, symbolising vulnerability and fate. And awesomeness, according to this model. Very, very cool. Okay, next up is Angerboda. So this is the first monster we're looking at. Angerboda, a Jotun or giantess in Norse mythology, is the mother of the monstrous children Fenrir, the wolf, Jormungandr, the serpent, and Hel, queen of the underworld. Her union with Loki signifies chaos and foretells the role of her offspring in Ragnarok, the apocalyptic event. Angerboda embodies the primal and destructive forces in Norse cosmology. Beautiful. Okay, so here are Thor's. They're the goats or the rams that pull his chariot. Tangrisnir and Tangnostir are the mystical goats of the thunder god Thor in Norse mythology. Their names mean teeth bearer and teeth grinder. Thor uses their charred bones to resurrect them after eating them each night. Their sacrifice and regeneration showcase the cycle of life and death in Norse beliefs. Right, we have a troop unit now. And these are the dwarves, so there's 3 of these models. Dwarves are skilled craftsmen who dwell in Svartalheim. Blimey, this is tough for me. Svartalheim. Creating powerful artifacts like Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. Originating from the blood of Ymir, they are often depicted as master blacksmiths. Notable dwarfs include the sons of Ivaldi and the brothers Brokkr and Sindri, creators of Mjolnir. Okay, next up is Freya. Cool, look at the hair on it. Very nice. Freya, the Norse goddess of love and fertility, is associated with 2 magical cats, often depicted pulling her chariot. These felines named Beagle, Bee-gold, or Tregold, Tree-gold, symbolise Freya's connection to nature and her shamanic abilities. Their significance lies in their association with the goddess's divine and mystical attributes. Doesn't tell much about her, does certainly tell us plenty about her cats. Frigg, looking friggin' awesome. In Norse mythology, trolls are, Frigg is a Norse goddess, wife of Odin and queen of Asgard. As the foremost Aesir goddess, she is associated with love, fertility and motherhood. Known for her wisdom and foresight, Frigg is a protective figure, and her weaving of destiny threads signifies her knowledge of fate in Norse mythology. Okay, next up they have a troll. In Norse mythology, trolls are mythical beings with varying appearances, from human-like to monstrous, dwelling in isolated places like mountains or forests. Trolls are often associated with chaos and danger. Notable examples include the mountain-dwelling Jotnar and the bridge guardian trolls. They embody the mysterious and sometimes menacing forces of the natural world. Okay, next up we have the Huskarls, of which you get 4 models. Huskarls were elite household warriors in medieval Scandinavia and Anglo-Saxon England, serving kings and nobles. Renowned for their loyalty and combat skills, Huskarls played a pivotal role in battles. Clad in mail armour and often wielding battle axes, they were a prestigious and formidable force in medieval European warfare. Okay, next up we have a Bodvar Bjarki. Okay, so it comes in 2 parts, this one. So very nice. Let's quickly tell you about that one. Bodvar Bjarki, also known as Hjalti, is a legendary hero in Norse mythology, featured in the Hrolf Kraki saga. A shapeshifter, he transformed into a bear to aid King Hrolf Kraki in battles. Bjarki's valour, loyalty and mystical nature contribute to his heroic status, symbolising courage and transformation. Okay, and then straight after that we have the King Hrolf Kraki. There he is. Hrolf Kraki, a legendary Danish king in Norse mythology, is celebrated in Hrolf Kraki's saga. Renowned for his strength and wisdom, Kraki faces a tragic fate in the Battle of Leyeri. His loyal warriors, including the shapeshifter Bodvar Bjarki, contribute to his heroic legacy, embodying the virtues of courage and loyalty. Nice work, Rolf. Okay, so next up we have Skuld. Again, sorry to everyone of Scandinavian upbringing about my terrible pronunciation. Princess Skuld is not a prominent figure. Skuld, meaning future or debt, is one of the Norns, the fates who shape destiny. Skuld, associated with the future, participates in deciding the fates of gods and mortals. She symbolises the inevitability and unfolding of destiny in Norse cosmology. It's a pretty damn fine model as well. Next up, Gullinbursti. A mythical boar in Norse mythology, crafted by the dwarven blacksmiths Brokir and Sindri for the god Freyja. Possessing golden bristles that emit light, Gullinbursti aids Freyja in battles. This enchanted boar is a symbol of prosperity, fertility, and the craftsmanship of the dwarfs in Norse lore. Very cool. Okay, Freyr is a Norse fertility god associated with the prosperity and sunshine. As a member of the Vanir, he wields a sword, Sumabrandr, and possesses the magical ship Skidblandir or Skidbladnir. Revered for his connection to agriculture and peace, Freyr's worship played a crucial role in the Norse fertility rituals and celebrations. And he's a nice model as well. Now we have the Varangian Guard, another troop, 4 models in the unit. An elite Byzantine army unit, primarily composed of Scandinavian and Eastern European warriors established in the 10th century. They served as personal bodyguards of Byzantine emperors, renowned for their loyalty and combat prowess. The Varangian Guard played a key role in Byzantine military history. So you get 4 of those. I don't know if I mentioned that. Right, Harald Hardrada. So another hero. 11th century Norwegian king and skilled warrior, and one of the last Viking kings. He served as a commander of the Byzantine Varangian Guard before becoming king of Norway. Harold's ambitious attempt to claim the English throne led to his defeat and death in the Battle of Stamford Bridge in 1066. Okay, here's a really cool looking model. Vidar. Very, very cool indeed. So who's this dude? A Norse god associated with vengeance and silence. A son of Odin, foretold to avenge his father's death during Ragnarok. He possesses a magical shoe made from discarded materials and is destined to kill the wolf Fenrir. Vidar symbolises resilience and justice in the face of cosmic conflict. Very, very awesome. Okay, next up, another god. We have, is it Njord or Jord? Very cool. Norse god associated with the sea, wealth and fertility. As a Vanir, he became a hostage in Aesir-Vanir war. Later joining the Aesir gods, Njord's serene influence extends to calm seas and prosperous fishing. He's the father of Freya and Freya, both significant deities in Norse mythology. So that's Freya and Freya. So EYR and EYJA. Don't ask me to tell me which one. So it's very good. Right, Utgarda Loki, one of the Jotun, I'm assuming. Let's have a look. So basically, I haven't done any massive deep digging on this, finding out who these guys are. Basically, I went on ChatGPT and said, tell me who this character is in 50 words. And that's all I've done. So, I've not, it might even be wrong, that it might be a misinterpretation from ChatGPT. But there you go. Utgarda Loki is a powerful giant in Norse mythology. Featured in the Prose Edda, the ruler of the stronghold Utgard, he tests Thor and Loki's prowess through illusions, showcasing his magic abilities. Utgarda Loki challenges the gods, revealing the deceptive nature of perception and the unpredictability of the giant realm. Next up is Sigmund. It's a hero. A legendary Norse hero central to the Volsunga saga. Son of Volsung, he draws fame for pulling the sword Gram from a tree. His tragic tale includes a doomed love affair with his sister Signy and his eventual death in battle. Sigmund symbolises valour, fate and tragic destiny. And awesome models. Okay, the Light Elves. So you get 3 of these models. Dwellers of Alfheima in Norse mythology. They embody beauty and radiance. Associated with the god Freya, they contrast with the dark elves. So the dark elves are basically the dwarves. Though scant details exist, light elves symbolise positive forces in the cosmos, residing in a realm of luminosity and bliss, shaping the dualistic nature of Norse mythology. So you get 4 of those. Okay, so here's another monster, the Draugr. Undead creatures in Norse mythology reanimated from the graves. These malevolent beings retain a semblance of their former selves, possessing superhuman strength and insatiable hunger for the living. Guarding treasures, they haunt burial grounds, embodying the fearsome aspects of death and the supernatural in Norse folklore. Okay, so next up is Skadi. A Norse giantess, so not a god. A Norse giantess and goddess of winter and mountains, is associated with skiing and bow hunting. Seeking revenge for her father's death, she marries Njord, but later separates, choosing the icy mountains as her home. Skadi embodies the wild forces of nature and the resilience required to endure harsh environments in Norse mythology. Good on ya. Grendel's mother is a monstrous figure in the Old English poem Beowulf. Seeking vengeance for her son Grendel's death, she resides in an underwater lair. Beowulf confronts and defeats her, symbolising the ongoing struggle between heroic virtues and monstrous forces. She remains unnamed in the original text, adding to her mysterious nature. Okay, Grendel. Monstrous character in the Old English poem Beowulf, descendant of Cain, terrorises the Danish kingdom, attacking Heorot Hall. Unrelenting and powerful, Grendel symbolises chaos and existential despair. Beowulf defeats him in a heroic battle, illustrating the triumph of human virtues over malevolent forces. Okay. Egil Skallagrimsson, a 10th century Icelandic warrior and poet, is a protagonist of the saga Egil Saga. Known for his fierce demeanour and poetic talent, Egil navigates a life filled with battles, family conflicts and vengeance. The saga reflects the Viking Age society, blending historical events and mythical elements. Okay, next up is the Jofur. Get 4 of these. Warriors arranged in a wedge-shaped array were charged with the point directed at the enemy, used by legendary figures like King Hrolf Kraki. The tactic aimed to break through enemy lines, emphasising aggression and battlefield prowess. So they're physically wearing a boar mask. But yeah, effectively they would line themselves up in a V shape and push through the forces. So like, yeah, 4 of those you get. Okay, Ratatosk. A squirrel in Norse mythology residing in the world tree Yggdrasil. Tasked with carrying messages between the eagle at the top and the dragon Nidog at the bottom, Ratatosk is a messenger. Its role symbolises communication and the dynamic interplay between the realms, adding depth to the Norse cosmic tree. Okay, and then we have Mimir. Poor sod. A wise being associated with knowledge and wisdom, guarding the well of wisdom beneath the roots of Yggdrasil. Mimir drinks from the well and gains profound insights. His severed head imparts wisdom to Odin, making Mimir a symbol of cosmic knowledge and the pursuit of understanding. So obviously his head's not severed there. It looks like it might be getting ready to come off. Hreisvelg, a giant eagle in Norse mythology, sits at the edge of the cosmos, creating wind by beating its wings. Its name means corpse swallower. As the eagle's wings flap, it influences the weather, symbolising the cosmic forces at play and adding to the intricate tapestry of Norse cosmology. Okay, so it's either Garm or Yarm, I'm not sure, so apologies for that, but this is that. This is it. A monstrous dog in Norse mythology associated with the underworld and guarding Hell's Gate. Described as the howling hound at the forefront of Ragnarok, Yarm's ferocity mirrors the chaos of the apocalypse. His role signifies the inevitable clash between cosmic forces, bringing an end to the Norse world. Okay, another god, back to the gods. So this is Tyr. Tyr is a Norse god of law and justice. Known for his bravery and self-sacrifice, initially a major deity, he loses prominence to Odin. Tyr sacrifices his hand to blind Fenrir the wolf, emphasising duty and sacrifice in the face of cosmic challenges. Tyr symbolises righteous governance with ethical conduct in Norse mythology. Okay, so when I did Freya earlier, on with the cats, I held up her model, but it was going on a lot about her cats. That's because it was the passage for her cats. So what I'm going to do is I will just show you Freya's cats, but tell you about Freya because you've already seen that model. A prominent Norse goddess is associated with love, fertility and beauty. It seems like they all are. A member of the Vanya, she possesses the magical necklace Brisingamen. Often depicted riding a chariot pulled by cats, Freya is a powerful and multifaceted figure embodying both love and war aspects in Norse mythology. Look at that. Pretty amazing. Okay, Hell, let's have a look. Hell in Norse mythology is the realm of the dead ruled by the goddess Hel, Loki's daughter, depicted as half living and half dead, literally, we can see. She governs the afterlife for those who didn't die in battle. Hel represents the inevitability of death and the complex nature of the Norse underworld, where souls face diverse fates. The mighty Thor. He's a beauty as well. Associated with thunder, lightning and storms, son of Odin, he wields the powerful hammer Mjolnir. As a protector of Asgard and Midgard, Thor is a symbol of strength and courage, often battling giants and forces of chaos in Norse mythology. Next up we've got Beowulf, the Old English epic poem. Protagonist of the epic poem Beowulf, a Geatish warrior, he battles the monster Grendel, Grendel's mother and the dragon. Beowulf embodies heroic virtues including strength and courage. His saga explores the themes of honour, heroism and the inevitable challenges of mortality. And next up, Brunhilde. Prominent figure in Germanic mythology, appears in various sagas and legend, often associated with the Valkyries. She's a powerful and tragic heroine. Renowned for her beauty and strength, Brunhilde's story involves love, betrayal and vengeance, highlighting her complex role in the narratives of Germanic and Norse traditions. Okay, Gullveig. This is something, a model I'm a unit I'm very interested in, just because it looks so awesome and interesting. So let's find out a little bit about her. A mysterious figure in Norse mythology associated with the golden enchantments. In the Voluspa, she endures multiple burnings yet remains alive, sparking the Aesir Vanir War linked to Freya Gullveig, symbolises transformation, desire, and the consequences of conflict, contributing to the complex tapestry of Norse cosmic narratives. So next up we have Lagertha, and she has two models. She's got a veteran version and a standard version. So I'll show you them both and I'll read the text. So, Lagertha is a legendary Norse shield maiden, wife of the hero Ragnar Lothbrok in Viking sagas, known for her martial prowess, leadership and independence. Lagertha is a symbol of female strength in Norse lore. Her character featured in the saga of the Ynglings adds depth to Viking Age narratives. The Norns are three sisters in Norse mythology: Urd, Verdandi and Skuld. I'm assuming it means, so the Skuld that we saw earlier, she was associated with the future. I'm not sure if this is the same one. Who weave the threads of fate in the well of Urd beneath Yggdrasil. Urd represents the past, Verdandi the present, and Skuld the future. So same name, potentially same person. Their actions shape destinies, illustrating the inevitability and interconnectedness of time and fate in Norse cosmology. Sigurd, a legendary hero in Norse mythology, features prominently in the Volsunga saga. Son of Sigmund, he slayed the dragon Fafnir, gaining immense wealth and the cursed ring and Varanort. Betrayals lead to his tragic death. Sigurd's tale explores the themes of destiny, greed, and the consequences of fate in Norse sagas. Okay, so we've got a big one now. Fafnir. Significant figure in Norse mythology, a dwarf transformed into a dragon by the greed for cursed gold. Slain by the hero Sigurd, Fafnir's story embodies the consequences of avarice. His treasure, including the cursed ring and Varanort, become a focal point in the Volsunga saga, influencing destinies, sparking conflicts. Fenrir, a monstrous wolf in Norse mythology, is a son of Loki, foretold to cause chaos during Ragnarok. Imprisoned by the gods, he bites off Tyr's hand despite attempts to control him. Fenrir symbolises the uncontrollable forces of chaos, opposing the gods, adding to the apocalyptic tension in Norse cosmology, where destruction and renewal intertwine in cosmic cycles. And with him, if I've got this right, he has an alternative head. So he has the head with the sword through it. He has one without, which isn't fitting in there right now. Don't want to push it too hard while I'm doing this though. Don't want to break anything by accident. Okay. Right. Truly awesome model, this one. Hidden. A frost giant mentioned in the Prose Edda. During Ragnarok, he commands the ship Naglfar, made from nails of the dead. Hidden represents the chaotic forces opposing the gods, adding to the apocalyptic tension in Norse cosmology, where destruction and renewal intertwine in cosmic cycles. Okay, the Frost Jotun, or Frost Giants. Very cool. They are powerful and often chaotic entities in Norse mythology, commonly translated as giants. They embody primal forces and exist in opposition to the Aesir gods, Jotnar are diverse, ranging from benevolent nature spirits to formidable adversaries like Thyrum and Utgard Loki, contributing to the dynamic Norse cosmic narrative. Very cool. Norse berserkers were fierce warriors in Viking Age Scandinavia, known for their ferocity in battle, entering a trance-like state called berserkergang. They fought with uncontrollable rage, often wearing animal hides. Their reputation for fearlessness and brutality contributed to the mystique of these elite warriors in Norse society. Jomsvikings were a legendary warrior society in medieval Scandinavia, specifically associated with Jomsborg, a fortress on the Baltic Sea. Established by Palantorki, they were elite Viking mercenaries. Okay, next up, the Oathbreakers. Considered dishonourable and socially condemned, breaking oaths and violating trust were seen as severe offences, leading to loss of reputation and exclusion from the community. Norse society valued honour, and oath-breaking was deemed a betrayal of sacred bonds. Next we have Shield Maidens. We get 4 of these. So Oathbreakers we had 5, Shield Maidens we get 4. Legendary women warriors of Viking Age Scandinavia, appearing in sagas and folklore. Despite historical debate about their prevalence, these skilled fighters were symbols of bravery, defying gender norms. Notable examples include Lagertha and Brynhilda. The concept of Shield Maidens adds complexity to Norse narratives of heroism and war. Okay, Ulfhednars were elite warriors in Norse mythology, believed to be wolf warriors associated with Odin. Clad in wolf pelts, they fought with berserker rage and were often linked to supernatural abilities. They exemplify the mystical and martial aspects of Norse warrior culture, reflecting the complexities of Viking Age beliefs. You get 4 of those. Okay, next we've got the Seers, of which you get 6. Prophetic women with magical powers. They commune with the spirit world, predicting the future and offering guidance. Notable examples include enhancing the mystical and supernatural elements in Norse cosmology and storytelling. Okay, so that's everything that I've got some kind of background for. There are some other things which I don't, which I might come back to later on. Is there anything? Hirokin. So I don't know anything about him. Perhaps I'll cover him in a review. Or her, sorry. Her. This lady. Cool. So just that one. And then the only other thing I haven't covered is Loki. Let's find Loki. Is that Loki? Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, that is Loki. So Loki, the trickster god, kind of brother to Thor. He was a... So if you, whatever you know of Loki from the Marvel movies, anything associated with his parentage is true. Or sorry, it links up with the mythology. So, you know, he was a frost giant. He was taken in by Odin, that kind of stuff. Right, so that's it. That's me going through everything. It's the most exhaustive, ridiculous unboxing I've ever done. I will be shocked and stunned if there's anyone at the end of this video. But if you are still there, I massively appreciate you coming along for the ride. I'm knackered. It's currently about 2:30 in the morning here. I'll be up and editing this in the morning. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you did stay for it, you know, I hope I didn't ramble on for too long or be too boring. But thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated. Lots and lots and lots and lots of more Ragnarok content coming soon. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you later.